Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop trying to prove your worth to a woman, she suddenly starts paying attention? It's strange, isn't it? When you're chasing, pleasing, and doing everything to make her stay, she pulls away. But the second you stop, when you finally say to yourself, "I'm done begging for what should be mutual," something changes. Her tone softens. Her eyes search for you. She wonders where that calm, confident man went, the one she once felt drawn to. See, most men don't realize this truth. A woman doesn't truly respect the man who can't walk away. She might like him, even feel sorry for him. But respect? That's different, because in her world, respect equals attraction. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and refusing to trade your dignity for her approval. When you can walk away, not out of anger, but from inner strength, she feels something powerful, the fear of losing you, and that fear wakes her up. In this video, we'll dive deep into why women subconsciously test men this way, how to stay grounded when emotions pull you apart, and what it truly means to embody the kind of confidence that commands both respect and attraction. Because the man who can walk away is the one who never has to chase. Meet Daniel, a 34-year-old guy who had everything going for him. Stable job, decent shape, kind heart. But when he met her, all that calm confidence went out the window. Her name was Emily. Smart, confident, a little mysterious. From the start, Daniel felt like he had to earn her interest. He'd text first every morning, rearrange his schedule for her, and overthink every word he sent. At first, she seemed flattered, even affectionate. But as the weeks went by, something changed. She stopped responding as fast. She canceled plans at the last minute. She started saying things like, "You're such a good guy. I just need space right now." And Daniel, like many men, panicked. He thought the solution was to prove himself even more. He brought flowers. He sent long, heartfelt texts. He even said, "I'll wait for you." But the more he tried, the colder she became. What Daniel didn't realize was that he'd shifted the balance. He was no longer the calm, grounded man she was drawn to. He had become emotionally dependent, desperate for validation, and she felt that energy. The final straw came one evening. He asked if they could talk about where things were going, she sighed, looked away and said softly, "I just don't feel that spark anymore." That night, Daniel sat alone in his apartment staring at his phone, replaying every moment, wondering where it all went wrong. And then, something clicked. He realized he'd been chasing her respect instead of earning it. He'd been afraid of losing her. But in doing so, he'd already lost himself. The next morning, for the first time in months, Daniel didn't reach out. No texts, no calls, no begging, just silence, and that silence did something unexpected. By the third day, she texted him, a short message. "Hey, are you okay? You've been quiet lately." That's when Daniel realized something powerful. Walking away didn't end the story. It changed the dynamic. So where did Daniel go wrong? It wasn't that he cared too much. It's that he forgot who he was while caring. You see, attraction isn't built on effort. It's built on energy. A man who's grounded in his own worth gives off calm, unbothered energy. A man who's afraid to lose her gives off anxiety. And women, consciously or not, feel that shift instantly. Here's what most men don't realize. When you're willing to walk away, it's not about playing games or acting cold. It's about communicating, without words, that your peace and self-respect matter more than any relationship. That mindset changes everything. Let's break it down. When Daniel chased Emily, his behavior said, "You're the prize. I'll do anything to keep you." That message kills attraction, because it puts her in control and him in need. But when Daniel finally stopped chasing, he silently said, "I value myself. If this isn't mutual, I'll move on." And that is the language of respect. This isn't manipulation. It's self-mastery, because the truth is, women don't respect men who need them. They respect men who can choose them. That distinction is everything. Let's take a moment to talk psychology. When a woman senses that you'll stay no matter how she treats you, she unconsciously relaxes, maybe even tests boundaries, because there's no risk of loss. But when you stop responding from desperation and start acting from self-worth, her brain perceives a shift in power dynamics. Now, she feels the emotional uncertainty. And uncertainty, not comfort, reignites attraction. It's called the scarcity principle. When something becomes rare, its perceived value increases. Daniel's attention had been abundant, and therefore, invisible. When he pulled back, his silence created contrast. Started noticing the absence of his energy, and that absence spoke louder than any words ever could. But here's where it goes deeper. This isn't just about making her chase you. It's about becoming the man who doesn't need to chase. A man who can walk away doesn't do it to punish her. He does it because he refuses to abandon himself in the process of loving someone else. When Daniel stopped reaching out, something changed inside him. He began reconnecting with his identity, hitting the gym again, calling old friends, focusing on his career. He wasn't using no contact as a strategy. He was rediscovering his balance. And ironically, that's when her messages got longer. The woman who once said, "I just need space," now said things like, "I miss how grounded you were. You've changed. In a good way." Because she could feel his energy shift. He was no longer emotionally chasing her. He was living in his own lane again. And that's the paradox. When a man stops trying to be enough for her and starts being enough for himself, she's drawn back by the very strength she once took for granted. So if you've ever been in Daniel's shoes, wondering why she pulled away the moment you cared the most, remember this truth. Love requires presence, but respect requires boundaries. And if you ever have to choose between keeping her and keeping your peace, choose your peace, because the man who guards his peace always gets the woman's respect, even if she never says it out loud. Now, before you go out there thinking, "All right, I'll just ignore her, that'll show her, let's clear something up," there's a fine line between walking away with strength and walking away with bitterness. One earns respect. The other just looks like insecurity in disguise. Let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes men make when trying to walk away. Mistake number 1, doing it to manipulate her. Some guys go silent hoping she'll panic, chase, and come crawling back. That's not strength. That's strategy based on fear. A man grounded in his worth doesn't pull away for her reaction. He does it because he refuses to compromise his peace. When your silence is honest, it's powerful. When it's performative, it's just another form of chasing. Mistake number 2, cutting her off emotionally, but not mentally. You've blocked her on social media, deleted her number, but you still check her page every day. That's not walking away. That's walking in circles. True detachment happens when you shift your focus from her to you, the gym, your craft, your purpose. These aren't distractions. They're your foundation. You rebuild yourself by pouring your energy into growth, not into what-ifs. Mistake number 3, becoming cold and cynical. After being hurt, many men swing to the other extreme. I'll never care again. But Stoicism isn't about killing emotion. It's about mastering it. You're not supposed to stop caring. You're supposed to stop clinging, because when you can care deeply without attachment, that's when you're untouchable. So don't be that guy who turns pain into pride or silence into ego. Be the man who can stand tall, love fully, and still walk away when respect fades. So, what did we learn? Respect in relationships doesn't come from control, manipulation, or emotional games. It comes from presence and the quiet strength to walk away when something no longer aligns with your worth. The man in our story didn't win her back by chasing her. He won himself back by learning that love without self-respect isn't love at all. He stopped trying to prove his value to someone who couldn't see it, and started living like a man who already knew it. Because here's the truth. A woman may be drawn to your looks, your charm, your success, but she'll respect the man who can stay calm in the storm, who can say, I care about you, but I care about myself too. That's real power. So here's your challenge. If you're in a situation where someone is taking you for granted, don't react with anger or withdrawal. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I acting from fear or from strength? Then make your next move from a place of calm conviction. Because when you stop chasing validation and start living by principle, everything changes. Your energy, your confidence, your relationships. People begin to feel your value instead of hearing you try to prove it. If this message hit home, hit like, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe for more content on masculinity, stoicism, and emotional mastery. And remember this, you're not the result of your past mistakes. You're the man who chooses what happens next.